Running a healthcare clinic, I often see themes running through my patient base. Some days everyone has headaches or respiratory infections, and last month a common theme I noticed was how unhappy everyone was. From grief to loneliness and depression. Midlife can be a troubling time for some, and with most of us feeling the pinch of being the sandwich generation. Personally, I experienced this too. It's my stressed out daughter's final year of high school, and my dad has metastatic cancer. I'm feeling it from both ends. So I thought it's a good time to talk about happiness. You're listening to Menopausenaturalsolutions. This is episode 151, Discovering the Path Back to Happiness at Midlife. Menopause Natural Solutions, your podcast for all things perimenopause, menopause and beyond. Stay tuned as your host, Naturopath Jennifer Harrington, explains how to use natural therapies to find your ultimate health and happiness during your transition. Professor David Blanchflower, in his 2020 research titled Unhappiness and Age, found that in developed countries, the peak age for unhappiness is 47.2, and in developing countries, it is 48.2. From here, happiness comes back and peaks in our 60s. For me, 2023 is the year of my 47th birthday. Yikes. Instead of using the research as an excuse to withdraw and be grumpy, I choose joy. I prioritize joy, and I intentionally look for ways to add more joy, peace, and happiness to my life now. My favorite way to do this is river swimming. I love floating. I find the surf beaches throw me around too much. I still swim in them, but the sense of peace and calm I get from being in the river is the thing that brings me the most joy. You need to find what does this for you. Today I'm going to discuss 7 lifestyle habits to help bring out your smile again. Nutrition and supplements can also play a key role, but I wanted to focus on lifestyle factors, as most of these are easy, free, with little or no charge, and they generally form a key role in both the promotion of happiness and the maintenance as well. Please don't try and do everything. Instead, consider what interests you the most and start there. Before we start, I wanted to add in a disclaimer that I'm not a psychologist or a psychiatrist. Please don't hesitate to reach out and get professional help if you need it. There are also mental health hotlines like Lifeline. Please don't suffer in silence. Now that is out of the way, the best thing to help shift you out of whatever kind of rut you're in is movement. Daily walking for wellness should be a priority. Try to find a local park or a nature strip to walk in for added mental and physical benefits that come from being in a green space. If due to pain or immobility movement is difficult, see if you can find a local pool and do your wellness walks in the water instead. Build on this whatever kind of exercise lights you up. This could be dancing, swimming, tennis, golf, cycling, yoga, weights, and the list goes on. Some find it easier to get back into the routine of exercise if they book a group session. There is nothing like having a date and a time in your schedule to help increase the likeliness of it actually happening. If you really can't exercise, you need to get someone to manually move your body around for you. Your body needs to receive nutrition and to clear out its waste products, and it does this by muscular contraction. Without movement, stagnation occurs. Waste products don't drain. Pain and inflammation sets in, and your mood drops. Any kind of manual therapy is going to be helpful, but if you can find a local lymphatic therapist, this is where I would start. Actually, if you're experiencing any form of pain, this is something you should consider. Mindfulness techniques are particularly helpful when your low moods are linked to stress. If you are new to mindfulness, think of it as being fully present and focused at the moment. Some of the easier activities to start with include doing jigsaw puzzles, crosswords, colouring in, journaling. With journaling, it works best if you use a good old-fashioned pen and paper. There is no right or wrong way to journal. You can use it as a brain dump, a highlight reel from the day, a way of processing negative events or documenting activities. I like to use mine as a sort of gratitude journal. I often start with 3 things that happened today that I'm grateful for. It's important to try to foster a feeling of gratitude, especially when life sucks. Possibly the most well-known form of mindfulness is meditation. Meditation comes in many different shapes and forms, and many find guided meditation or progressive muscle relaxation meditations easier forms to start with. Breathwork also fits in here. I'm a big fan of paced respiration, simply because it has menopause-specific research using this technique. This technique involves breathing 6 breaths a minute. Think of it as counting to 5 on the inhalation and 5 on the exhalation. For more details on this technique and the research I mentioned, go back and check out episode 132, Breathwork for Menopause. Do you spend time in nature? There is something magical about being in nature. The Japanese call it shinrin-yoku, or forest bathing. Simply being in nature. Embrace your senses and enjoy the colours, the smells, the sounds, and the tactile sensations. To get more benefits, take your shoes off and walk around barefoot, adding to the benefits of grounding at the same time. Grounding is also called earthing. It's all about being in contact with Mother Earth, allowing for the direct transfer of energy from the ground and into your body. It is scientifically researched, free, and effective way to improve sleep, reduce pain, improve immunity, manage stress, and lift your mood. If this is a new concept, you might like to head back to episode 95, The Health Benefits of Earthing, where I explain it in more details. Then there's gardening. My sunflowers are out in bloom at the moment. They are the smallest sunflowers I've ever seen, but they're mine, and they bring me so much joy watching them bloom. It's not just the satisfaction of watching your hard work come to life. There are also many benefits, especially to your microbiome, when you start digging in the dirt and getting your hands dirty. Light therapy. These days we are surrounded by junk light. Many of us have heard about blue light by now. This is the light that emits from our television screens, computers and phones. It disrupts our circadian rhythm, trashes our sleep, zaps our energy and ruins our mood. But junk light can also come from light bulbs, especially LED and fluorescent lights. It's not just blue light. It can also be green and violet light. If poor sleep moods and energy are your main concerns, listen up. You need to get early morning natural sunlight, ideally about 20 to 30 minutes. If your location doesn't allow for this, consider investing in a red light or near-infrared device. Look for safer light bulb options. As a general rule, halogen or incandescents are better, but these days there are more and more specialized light bulbs hitting the market, such as True Light. Sound medicine is a really fun way to improve your mood. Think about a time when you sang your heart out like no one was listening. Maybe it's when you're alone in the car and your favorite song comes on and you just can't help but sing out loud. Do you remember how good that feels? If you don't already have a sing out loud playlist, create it. And make sure you include songs from your youth, songs that take you to happy places and happy times. Music is a well-researched form of sound medicine. Back in episode 115, Music and Menopause, I discussed the results of a music meditation on women in the menopausal transition. This study involved the women listening to music, sitting in a comfortable chair with headphones on, and just soaking up the music, and the results were extraordinary. If you missed this episode, you have to go back. And if you haven't tried a music meditation yet, do it today. When was your last live concert? The buzz you get from an amazing event stays with you for a long time. But it doesn't need to be a big concert. It can be a solo jam session at home if you're lucky enough to be able to play an instrument. The creative women among us know that art therapy is healing. It doesn't matter your medium. You could draw, photograph, quilt, paint, knit, sculpt, or sew. What matters is the art of creation. When we transition into menopause, our brain changes and we move into right brain dominance, the creative side of our brain. It's now that many of us rekindle or advance our interest in arts. My only caution here is to avoid the more toxic activities like LED lighting. Have you heard of Marie Kondo? She's a Japanese tidying expert. There is a lot to be said about how your physical space affects your mental space. It's hard to be optimistic and motivated in a cluttered environment. Her method is designed to help you clear out anything dragging your energy down and leave behind your personal possessions that spark joy for you. Sometimes even just rearranging your furniture can brighten up your room and change its energy. If you can afford to redecorate or add a splash of bright colour, this can also help. While we were here, a deep clean is also warranted. You can't deny how good it feels to live in a clean home. Unfortunately, our homes can be some of the most toxic places, especially when it comes to air quality. You may not be aware that environmental toxins cause hormonal disruption, insomnia, fatigue, headaches, and mood swings. Open your window and let the fresh air in. Swap out chemical cleaners for natural products. Ban perfumes and scented candles in your home. Stay on top of any mold issues. If your budget allows, seriously consider investing in a quality air filter. And if you wish to learn more, check out my Healthy Homes for Healthy Hormones program. Are you a dog or a cat person? I'm a dog person. There is a lot to be said about pet therapy no matter what kind of animals you like. It's possibly the best fit for loneliness, not only because they make beautiful companions, but they are also great icebreakers. Last year I moved into a new area and I met most of my new friends by walking my dog. Plus the welcome you get when you come home is priceless. The excitement and pure joy they experience when you step in the front door makes you feel seen, wanted, appreciated, and loved. It's hard to stay sad with the love bomb they drop on you. I hope this has helped provide a few options for you, but the answer really lies in taking action. Start somewhere and let me know how you go. Until next time, bye for now. Thank you for listening to Menopause Natural Solutions. This podcast contains general information about menopause. It is provided as a guide and it is not intended to replace medical advice. Opinions of guests are their own, and this podcast does not endorse or accept responsibility for statements made by guests. If you have enjoyed today's episode, please share it with a friend.